All right, everybody. Welcome to our live review discussion for Fear the Walking Dead Season Three's mid-season premiere. A lot of words right there to get out just for, uh,
Just to say hello.
yeah, just to say hello in back-to-back episodes. And by the way, welcome to our Rantpocalypse channel. If it's the first time that you have ever come here, we don't typically do our live stream reviews here on YouTube. We have been doing them on Facebook, but we decided to
Hey,
dabble in the YouTube
mix it up.
waters.
Just mix
Exactly.
it up. Yeah.
I'm Justin, by the way.
And I'm Justin's mom, Kelly.
Awesome. I'm glad to have you here with me, Mom. I'm very excited to come back and talk Fear the Walking Dead with you. We've had a couple of weeks, months. It's been a long time since Fear the Walking Dead was on,
We had,
right?
yes, it has been a while because we got the whole glorious season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we
So,
did. We did.
mhm.
It's curious you bring that, or it's interesting you bring that up because I was wondering. We talked about this before. We were discussing what do we do with Fear the Walking Dead? Do we keep the review going? Do we continue doing these? And we were like, man, it's a hellaciously badass season of Game of Thrones to come to Fear the Walking Dead, which is not our favorite show. Like it's not. It's gotten much better, and I don't want to
Yes.
start out with negative stuff about Fear the Walking Dead, but it's always difficult. Like whenever you have a show that is like your absolute favorite show and you review it, and then you come to another show where it's like you like the show, and every once in a while there's really good moments from the show, but it just
Uh-huh.
doesn't have that same level like of intensity
Yeah.
that you get
I was
from
going to
Game of
just quit
Thrones.
TV
Yeah,
after
well, I
Game of Thrones. I really thought about it, and then I thought, the Fear the Walking Dead's coming back. I'll give it another shot. I
yes,
actually the first half of the season was fantastic. So we
it
decided
was
since it was great, we would go ahead and continue to do our reviews for it. And I,
exactly.
I think it's a good choice.
I think so too. I'm glad to be back in the world of Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm glad to honestly just be talking to you about it because I know you have a lot of things to say about these two episodes. Before we get into it, I just wanted to say this because um, I've been watching this Destiny 2 raid for the
Hmm.
last 5 hours. I watched it
Okay.
so long that my iPhone went out of battery and then my iPad went out of battery
Wow.
as I'm watching these people. I'm in case you don't know anything about Destiny or anything, it's an amazing game. It's a first-person shooter MMO game. It's just freaking incredible, and it was intense as hell, Mom, to watch these people. Like it's a six-team raid group. They go
Yeah.
in, and I mean, it literally was taking. It took these people 6 hours, I think, to complete it. Now,
Oh, did they complete it?
I saw one group complete it on Twitch, and I think that they might have been the world's first. Apparently, there's like some team in Switzerland or Sweden or something that may have beaten them, but
Yeah.
the ones that I watched, like they live streamed it on Twitch, and I mean, it was freaking intense. Like they were so close so many times and then died in the last like they
God.
like when you have that boss that you're fighting and it's like the last tiny bit sliver of health and you die in that moment right before you get that like final shot off. That
Well,
happened to him at least 3 times.
part of the problem with that is you let down your guard just a little bit because you can see
Oh,
that they're about to die. So you just stand out there a little too long and
exactly.
continue to. That's the way I play anyway.
No, that's exactly what happened to all of them. They got they got a little bit too happy and they didn't notice that hey, these bosses they take like an insane amount of health to take off whenever you're shooting them and whatnot. So I just had to put that out there because Destiny 2 is freaking amazing, and we also have a gaming channel. It's called Old Ass Casuals. You can go follow us on YouTube. That's where we do a lot of our game streams and trailer
Hmm.
reactions to video game trailers
Yeah.
and
I,
all
I
sorts of
got this
stuff.
going on right now,
Yeah.
so I apologize. I don't even know how many hours we have played. We played Destiny 1 and then, started on Destiny 2. And that's all we've been doing. I have been gay all over my hands right now.
Oh, that is a funky smell going on if you've got Ben Gay all over your hands.
Yep.
How do the
Yep.
dogs like that?
I was surprised. I thought they would avoid me, but the little one, Zelda, just keeps coming up, and I think she likes the way it tastes. She's like, you're delicious. So
Please give me more of that Ben Gay smell.
yeah.
Where's all the old people at that just lather themselves in Ben Gay?
I know.
I can't
I
wait
know.
for that part of my life. Just to take the Ben Gay baths and everything, because
Yeah.
my whole body is just like so sore.
I think that's kind of what I need right now. Well, that, and I was taking notes because Fear the Walking Dead was the double episode.
Yeah.
And when you do the notes for a double episode, I was already cramped up as it was. And that's when I broke out the Ben Gay, when I was like halfway through, and I'm like, oh my God, I'll never make it through all these notes.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I've got because I did 2 reviews, and just in case anybody was wondering, I put up 2 personal reviews on the channel. Just because it's something I want to get better at doing is trying to do like short form reviews that are for the most part very succinct and to the point and everything, and so that way we can come on our podcast and just ramble and have fun talking about the TV shows that we like to watch. So,
and that's what this is.
yes, oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a ramble about Fear the Walking Dead. So, but I'm with you. I think I took for episode 10, it looks like about 6 pages of notes, 6 note cards. So they're about this big. So I take a lot of notes as well, and it's tough when it's a double episode, and it seems like this is going to be their MO.
I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they wouldn't do that. So it's fine. It just makes it tough if you're trying to review it, in my opinion.
It does. It makes it a whole lot tougher because you don't know. You kind of get out of your cadence of, okay, this is how I like to take notes for an episode, but then when there's 2 episodes and how you go towards reviewing them, because they're not one singular episode. It's not like they're doing a double-sized premiere that is literally like, an hour and 35 minutes long or something like that. It's more or less that they just have 2 episodes back to back. So I like Boyd's comment. I'm a mom of 2 teenagers, and Ben Gay is my best friend after a day of work. That's hilarious.
I was just typing out, that's hilarious. And then I'm like, I can't remember how to spell hilarious. And while looking at the camera at the same time, smiling, so I'm like, yeah, forget it. It's just easier to say. That is hilarious.
Yes, that is very hilarious. Okay, so enough chit chat. I say let's get into the discussions on
the other chit chat.
Yes, let's get into the chit chat about the episode actually. So we're going to be reviewing episode 9, the Minotaur, and episode 10, the Diviner. So lay it on me, Mom.
Okay, first off, Kim Dixon in the off season, in the break, she went and had something done. She looks fan-freaking-tastic. The girl looks amazing. I don't know what she did. I want some of that. She looked rested to me.
Yeah.
Didn't she not look great?
It's not something I noticed, I guess. I can't.
No.
I don't get over the glow of Alicia. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I honestly, I think she looked great as well.
She did, but I mean, no duh. She's 5 years old. Of course, she's gonna look good. She's a kid.
Yes.
But Kim is my age, and so when you see a woman that's the same age, you're like, dang, girl, you look great.
Give me your skincare program.
Exactly. I want some of that. I thought she looked fantastic. So I know we discussed this after I watched the show, my first go through, my first viewing.
Yeah.
And I was like, boo, boo, hiss.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you were pretty adamant about there was a lot of things that you didn't like from the episodes.
Yeah.
Which I don't see a lot of people disagreeing with you. Like I took a look at a few other YouTubers' reviews, and they were negative, some of the reviews, but then the comment section was like, oh my God, it was just like pure venom in the comment section. Like people were just so like, this show sucks, this is the worst show ever, can they please just put it out of its misery, terrible things.
I didn't feel that way about it.
Yeah.
The part that I had a problem with was the way that they keep switching what the character does.
Yeah.
That went on a lot. Now, as far as Madison goes, I mean, she's the same character always. She's whatever works for Madison. She tries to make sure that everybody else is on board for that.
Yeah, she's definitely a chameleon in the sense that yeah,
Mhm.
she switches her beliefs every like on a dime basically.
Yeah.
Every other scene she's like she'll go with that if
Mhm.
that's what's going to get the best possible outcome for her, which is kind of annoying, right? In the sense of like being a viewer and you can never really you can never figure out what she's going to do next because one moment she's making some stupid brash decision and they get somebody killed, and then the other moment you're like, why didn't you kill that person?
Okay, which brings up the whole thing with Troy, which I
Mm.
mean, if we're just going to jump right into that,
Yeah.
why didn't she kill Troy when she takes him to the wasteland,
Yeah.
to be exiled? I thought, do they have a thing?
It was pretty. There were some pretty creepy, awkward moments whenever he
Mm.
was hugging
He
her.
was. He was. I mean, it started off, wrestling for the gun,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it was like, I mean, it got very, very,
It looked like
very
a dry
hot.
hump was about to go down.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
looked like Troy was about to, be
It's
like,
like
"Oh
biting,
God, I'm
biting
done."
on her ear a little bit, and she's like, oh, Troy, don't try to grab the gun from me, Troy. Oh
Yeah.
wait, do you already have it in your pocket, Troy?
Yeah. Is that a
You
gun in
know,
your pants? Or you just
yeah.
happy to see me?
So, uh, that I've told you all along that I felt like Troy had a thing for her,
For
and
sure.
you said, no, he doesn't. He just looks up to her like a mom. That wasn't the way you hug on your mom.
No, I'm not about to go down and like hug you like that
No.
if we ever got into a tussle
Well,
because
if we're gonna get into a tussle, I'm just gonna punch you right in the face. So it's not that's not an
how
issue.
is that how it's gonna go down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you now. Like there's definitely something weird going on there, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie. It feels like Madison kind of reciprocates it a little bit.
Oh
Like,
no, definitely. Okay, that was part of my issue.
mm-hmm.
Now, I don't mind that we can't figure out what Madison is going to do.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. Um, I do mind that it seems like every man on the face of the earth will do whatever Madison wants.
yes, that is really weird. Because now it's like Walker's falling in line with whatever she wants to
Mm-hmm.
do. And yeah, of course, Troy always falls in
Mm-hmm.
line. Now Jake, he's pretty adamant about not really. He doesn't see eye to eye with Madison at all.
That's
Um,
because he listens to Alicia go, "Oh my God, my mom is making me so crazy." You know how
yeah,
girls do.
I
So,
understand. Yes, that's very true. She's like, my mom is such a biatch.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's very true. And Alicia's smoking hot, and
You're
I
gonna
think
go with the smoking
yeah,
hot.
yeah. You're like, all right, old lady over here on the
Yeah.
right trying to
Oh,
tell me what to do,
did
or
you just say old lady?
young hot lady trying to tell me what to do. Okay, I'm gonna follow the young hot lady. Not always, not always. I'm not an ageist out here. And if
You
my nights and bars, could be on videotape, everybody would know that I
Oh,
am
if,
not an
if you want me to
ageist.
tell do you want me to tell the stories, of the people that I know you've made out
Yeah,
with in the back of cabs
yeah. I think they,
that
they
were
they would be about
older than me?
20 or 30 years your senior, I think, sometimes.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm definitely not an ageist. But if it came down to it, I'm picking Alicia 10 out of 10 times, and I'm going to throw Madison the deuces. But every other dude, yeah, they're all
Yeah.
about some, like, they want to get it down
Yeah.
with
Well,
Madison.
and it's kind of interesting because it seems like the entire Clark family seems to have that appeal and
Yeah,
that edge over people.
yeah.
That no matter what's going on, if one of the Clarks say to do it, shoot this dude, don't shoot this dude. You know,
Which is really weird, and I do think that is a problem with the show because it's like the whole moment with Jake and Walker when right after Terrence had stupidly taken a shot at one of Walker's people and everything, and then the fact that Madison just butts right in and says, just give him the key, Jake. It's they need to take all the
That
guns.
made me crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe
That-
Alicia was down for that. Like, I figured Alicia would have backsmacked, just slapped the crap out of her and said, Jake's the one in charge. You
Yeah.
know your role, Mom, and shut your mouth. But
Yeah. Sure, you're going to do that with Madison. Madison would, she'd pull out a knife from somewhere and cut you, even if it is her daughter. I did think that was really weird, though, because Troy, he's telling Walker, look, no, we're not handing over the key.
Yeah.
Or you guys aren't getting all the guns. But as soon as Madison says, yeah, do it, he's just like, all right, yeah, here you go. Take the key.
yeah,
So,
that was weird.
Yeah.
I that was probably one of my my biggest gripes with the episode was just the fact that. Well, I think it's when we're talking about Madison, it's just a lot of the things that she does. It does bother me with her character that she kind of like flip flops every so often, and the way that I talked about in my review that I just don't understand how she would ever allow Walker to put Nick in that hot box in the first place. Like, I just can't, past Madison.
No.
She would have scorched the earth before
Right.
she would have allowed that to happen. Like, she would have
would have
gotten
taken
Nick
the
killed.
whole place down. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what's so crazy about it to me is like she like rolls over in that moment to like let Walker do whatever she wants.
And she burnt out, I mean,
Oh,
she
yeah,
she didn't say anything to Nick. Now, I mean, she did, I guess when she comes back, she pets him on the head for a minute, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that was odd. So that was the thing that I had an issue with, was just some of the inconsistencies with the characters, or yeah, I guess inconsistencies is the best word.
Well,
So-
why do you think Madison isn't trying to get retribution for Travis's death? She knows that Walker's people killed him. That's what really is weird to me, and it's like they don't tie in certain threads from like the very beginning of the season, because that's a big freaking
Yeah.
deal. Travis was to me, like the main star of the show when it first started. Like it was, or maybe it was like a co-billing. Like it was Madison
Yeah.
and Travis. And the fact that he died, and it at the hands of Walker's people, like sometimes I wonder, because right now we just see Madison seemingly rolling over, especially in episode 9, to like Walker and his people and letting them
Right.
do whatever they want, just as long as they get to stay on Brokejaw Ranch. But it's like, is she playing some long game? Is she gonna like stab him in the back eventually or something?
Well, it to me, it just looks like, I feel like whatever suits her in the moment is what she will do. So if she needs to keep him around
Yeah.
to benefit her, she will keep him around. But I'm with you. I think it's a little odd that she's made such good buddies with
Yeah.
him, and that she hasn't said a word that,
Hey, bro,
you guys-
you killed Travis, asshole.
you killed Travis.
The nicest dude in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, you killed him.
You killed him. Bringing up Walker, do you like Walker a little bit more now? I've seen some people saying that they actually like his character a little bit more, in that they could see him being an interesting character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the same
Yeah,
way?
no, he seems like a nice enough guy. He's doing what he needs to do for his people. So you can't really fault any of these people
No.
for trying to take care of their own.
Does that mean Walker's going to die now?
Of course he's going to die.
Yeah. Like,
He's gonna get thrown out of a helicopter, or something along those lines.
I mean, how do you really think he's gonna go though? Because I ultimately feel that he's gonna get caught up, with Madison. Do you see somebody like Troy coming back to Brokejaw Ranch and killing him, or do you see one of his own people? Because in this episode, like Crazy Dog doesn't. He obeys Walker, but it doesn't seem like he sees completely eye to eye with him. Like he's just like he kept bringing it up throughout both episodes. This is what Walker wants, so this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
Like he didn't really want to do it, but he respects Walker. So it's like you could almost see like somebody like within the ranks of Walker's people taking him out, because maybe he, you know, gives too much leeway to these Broke Jaw Ranch folks, because they're definitely trying to start shit multiple times. I mean, Troy tried to shoot everybody down. Terrence trying to shoot people at breakfast, man. Like,
Okay.
maybe at lunch, but at breakfast, that's the best meal of the
I know.
day.
Come on, don't start the day off that way. I hadn't
Yeah.
had my coffee. You know,
Exactly.
shoot at me after the coffee. Did Terrence not remind you of what was the kid's name that in the first episode that was?
Oh, the one that everybody says is like gonna keep coming back. Or
Yes,
something
they think.
like that.
Yeah.
Is it Tobias?
Tobias.
Is that
yeah.
it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. He reminded me of him. I think that Walker will definitely die.
Yeah.
Because they, like you said, they're making us like him.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of feel like it'll probably be Madison. But I feel like she's going to kill everybody.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. A big part of me thinks that we didn't see this character in either one of the episodes, but I feel like this Proctor John character may wind up being the big bad of the back half of season 3. You know, we just hear his name mentioned, and we see the punishment that he doles out to Strand and other people, and
which is kind of an asshole move.
Oh, definitely. What do you mean? Kind of an asshole move? That's like 100% asshole move.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, I understand that that's a huge deterrent. I'm gonna chain you up, and you're going to protect the gates.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody die?
It
I mean, you'd have to die.
It certainly seemed like everybody died unless they got the many dills of silver. I guess is that what freaking Walker had? Was that silver coins
or gold? I think of it silver or gold. I can't remember which one it was, and I don't really understand. At this point, what good that is. I guess they're just assuming that the world will come back to its normal self and money will actually be useful.
No, I don't. Well, I think somebody does, but it's just like every post-apocalyptic thing. There's always some form of currency that people trade with or whatever. Like it brings me back to Waterworld. I remember Waterworld had that, like, it was like a really stupid form of currency from what I remember. At least,
you watched that movie?
Oh, I loved
Waterworld.
I'm teasing. I loved Waterworld. That was one of my favorites.
It's a great movie.
It's a great dumb movie, that's for sure. But I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, and that's what, like, this whole episode kind of reminded me of a Waterworld or a Mad Max or a Fallout or something like that. It was a little bit weird, but
the swap meet was amazing.
Did you like that? Okay, like, did you really like it? Or
I loved it. It was so weird, but I could totally see that would be the way the world would go.
Yeah.
People that can find stuff would get together and all get in a central location like that, and it would be really weird and not in a building, and I just thought it was super colorful, and I loved it.
So it didn't bother you at all? Because I know some people probably like got really upset about it, and you know, the fact that how could they have this giant bazaar whenever the Walking Dead characters, you know, I are scavenging around and they never come up upon anything. Because you think about it, like, go back to season 1 and season 2, which is I think season 1, I could be not correct on this, but from what I remember, it more or less happened, like, say 6 months or something after Rick had his coma that he got put in. So whenever Rick came to, it was like 6 months later or something like that. Anywhere from 3 to 6 months, I think. So in 3 to 6 months, it was a shit show in the world of the Walking Dead universe. I mean, Atlanta was just completely destroyed. There was nothing in Atlanta, really. There was, like, shopping, you know, stores that they went to and whatnot, and
there was no one guarding them, no one protecting those stores. It was just whenever you could find a place to break into,
but then
you broke into it.
But Fear has a completely new economy system. They've got this entire marketplace that sells anything and everything, sexual things, it sounds like, as well. So that didn't bother you at all. Like you
Not at
just,
all.
it didn't bother me at all either. Like I like it that they're doing their own thing on Fear the Walking Dead, and
Hmm.
for me, like there's a definite divide on how like the world of Fear the Walking Dead looks compared to the world of the Walking Dead,
Hmm.
and I like that
Yeah.
it's more like a wasteland type situation
Yeah.
than a post-apocalyptic like zombie apocalypse or something like
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah. I think that there's a distinct possibility that it would go more this way,
hmm
that of the swap meet.
yeah.
So it didn't bother me, but um, I found that really interesting. Now I thought it was odd. Was it Marie Lou?
Yeah,
Mary?
Maria Lou, I think was her
Yeah,
name. Yeah.
she doesn't really seem like a boss to me.
No.
Her gang seemed a little odd.
Yes, her gang was definitely odd. I know I mentioned that in my little short review.
Uh-huh.
It's just that was a weird thing. Like I can totally understand it if somebody that loves The Walking Dead, the main show and the comics and everything, and they see this Maria Lou character, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" Like, it is weird.
Hmm.
But that part reminded me of some like campy sci-fi movie where yeah, like the crime boss is like this little. Honestly, if you watch Daredevil and like all of the Marvel's Netflix shows,
Hmm.
Madame Gal is on the
Yeah.
show. It
Yeah.
reminded me of Madame Gal.
Hmm.
Like that's ultimately what it reminded me of. Except for she's an ultimate badass. I don't think Maria Lou is a
Mm-mm.
badass. And she certainly seemed really scared of Proctor John as soon as his name was mentioned. She was like, "Nope, I'm out." I don't. I
Yeah.
like my. I like to be breathing or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, but so back to the Proctor John dude. To me he sounds like he could be a pretty evil guy, and like you were
I know.
saying, locking people up on the fence in order to take care of the walker problem. I think it's super smart. I don't remember that on The Walking Dead. They've always put walkers out there, right?
Yeah, to me, I don't know that I find it interesting as far as a deterrent to
Mm-hmm.
keep people from stealing stuff, but all you do is grow your own problem. And then you have this human that was on the chain
Yeah.
that ends up dying, that then they're a walker on a chain.
Oh well,
And
they
so
just go pop pop real quick and
I guess, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
But well, anyway,
I can
I
see
don't
what you're
think it's
saying. If it was,
ultimately, I don't think it's the greatest form of defense.
I don't know. If
It
you
is a form of defense.
if you're out there on that chain, mom, and it's
Yeah.
life or death,
Hmm.
you're gonna kill a lot of walkers, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna work hard.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, so to me, who's gonna take that job?
Right.
who's gonna raise their hand out of the lineup and say, "Oh yeah, let me go outside and take care of that walker problem that's building up on the fence." Nobody's gonna say they want that job.
Yeah.
So it totally sucks. The only thing that I hated about it was the fact that I really wish they would have kept it a night scene with Strand, because they immediately cut. Like I hate when The Walking Dead does this a lot
Hmm.
as well. I don't know if it's, well, I think it's budgetary reasons. Just because a lot of production companies, they don't like to do night shoots. They're more costly.
Hmm.
It's just like any other job. Like if you work a night shift at whatever job it is, at McDonald's even, you typically get paid more to work the night
Right.
shift. So
Right.
I
Well,
think
and if you've got actors that have worked all day long,
that too, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, working those night shoots. The night shoots are always to me the most fun, and I love it whenever we get night shoots on The Walking Dead, and I would have really loved to seen that the rest of that play out at night. I hated that they just like they showed Strand getting chained up at night, and they immediately went to the
Yeah.
next day, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's some BS. So, but so overall, did you? And be honest. I want your
Yeah.
honest
No, I
opinion.
know. I wasn't as thrilled and moved as I thought I
Yeah.
was, going to be. I thought we were going to come back and it was just going to be like, ah, just crazy balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the story moved along okay.
Yeah. I think so. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering, like, because you're saying like you wanted it to come back and be like just balls to the wall action and everything, and because they ended on basic. It wasn't a cliffhanger, but they ended on Jeremiah getting shot
Hmm.
and Troy and Jake and the rest of Brokejaw Ranch being lied to, saying that Jeremiah took his own life in order to broker this peace, because ultimately that's
Because
all
he's such a
Walker.
good guy.
Yeah, he's such a great dude, and Walker wanted his head, and here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your
Yep.
head. Here's the
Yep.
Jeremiah head on a platter and
Hmm.
everything. Um, I guess for me, like I always look at Fear the Walking Dead in single episodes, and whether or not I enjoy myself within that contained 42 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't ever think that they've done a really great job at like telling this broad cohesive story. I feel like it's just like it's not a procedural, but it almost sometimes feels that way with, I'm just like, okay, that episode was good, or
Hmm.
no, that episode was bad. Like I
Hmm.
never feel like it's like a broad sweeping story, like an arc or anything like
Yeah.
that, which is fun. Like, and I understand like there is certain story arcs, like with Jeremiah and his character, like
Yeah.
what they were gonna do with this character, and now like in the back half of season 3, it's like, okay, we've got this problem of Troy. What are we gonna do with
And it's all,
Troy?
well, that, and it's all about the water.
Yeah, and
So,
and the water as well. But let me ask you this, like, because I got to thinking about this, and I got to look at my notes on my phone because I forgot I didn't write it anywhere else. But do you think that it would have been better if they had reversed the episode order? Because whenever I think a problem, and this is AMC has created this problem,
yeah.
is that they've got this double sized premiere, which
Yeah.
everybody, when you think of a premiere or a finale, you think of it as one cohesive story, right?
Right.
You don't think of it as just like two individual episodes that are just
Right.
back to back.
Right.
But AMC is keep doing that with Fear the Walking
Yes.
Dead because, one, I think it's just because the ratings have gone down so much, and they're just like, we gotta get these episodes out there, and maybe if we do a double sized premiere, like the ratings will be a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know really why they keep doing this, but whatever. Um, but that's their problem. They're the ones that have created this problem.
Right. Right.
And they also create the problem of taking the hiatus and like coming back
Which is
and
so stupid.
yeah, and making it where it needs to be this big event, like come check the Fear the Walking Dead
Okay.
mid-season premiere. Like they could have just
Right.
continued on with the story.
If they would have continued on with the story, yes, it would have been much better.
Yeah.
But go ahead before you forget what you're going to say.
Well, anyway, so I feel like if they would have, and obviously they would have had to switch some things around, but say that they switched the reverse, like they reversed the order of the episodes. So
Switch the reverse.
yes, switch the reverse. But anyway, so what happened in episode 9, if they switched a few things around, but would have ended episode 10 with Troy and Madison at the very end, don't you think that would have been better? So like say, in episode 9, it was all about the Troy drama. That was really all
Hmm.
it was. Like he was revolting against Walker and his people. I feel
Hmm.
like if they would have kind of like spaced that revolt out a little bit over the 2 episodes, where we see like seeds being planted, like he's not happy that
Hmm.
Walker and his people are there. They let it breathe a little bit, and then like in episode 10, it kind of explodes. And you could even have had like the water situation, had that in episode 9, like, and them going off, but instead of Nick spearheading this revolution against Walker and his people, which I thought was kind of weird and out of character for Nick, like completely.
Yes.
It could have been
Hmm.
Troy, which would
Right.
have made totally more sense. And then like
Yeah.
they end episode 10 on Troy's shootout and standoff against Walker and his people. Like Walker and Madison, they make it back after everything. They even bring Strand back. I don't care. Like Strand could have came back to see all the drama. That doesn't really matter. That's neither here nor there. But I felt like, I think a lot of the other people that are like the naysayers and like people that
Hmm.
hated this mid-season premiere, I think they might have liked that a little bit more because
Maybe.
it would have ended on a high note, like
Yes.
a badass note, and you're like, damn, that was a good premiere, like how AMC bills it.
Yeah.
But the way that the episodes like panned out. It was just like back-to-back episodes, two completely separate stories. And
okay, well, did you mean like leaving it on the dry hump?
no, no.
Is that
Well, leaving it on Troy walking away.
Yes, as he's walking away, which was a really neat shot.
Yeah, it was a great shot. It was
yeah.
super. It was emotional. Like, you know, I felt for Troy in that moment whenever he was getting banished. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, Troy. He's a messed up dude.
I kind of like him.
I certainly like him. I honestly think he's probably the best character on the show at this point, which is really weird to say.
It really is weird to say, but I wrote down that he's really my kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I like the way, I mean, he does some horrible things. At the beginning, when we were first introduced to him, is when he was really, really horrible. But now that he's been back
his ugly side.
Yes, but now that he's back on the ranch, basically it's been about protecting the people at the ranch, and he has the people there, their back way more than his brother does. And obviously way more than Madison does. Madison doesn't care, just as long as she has a roof over her head and some water to wash her face. Did you notice how clean the Clarks were?
Yes.
They were all clean, but all the people at the well,
looking
nasty, dirty.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's who's double dipping in the well.
The Clarks.
The Clarks.
Clarks are like, quintuple dipping in the well. They're getting all the water. They sucked it dry, like more or less. Because Jeremiah, he didn't even know about it, Yeah. And then all of a sudden the Clarks get there and the aquifer is like completely bone dry. And they're like, these damn
dry.
Clarks with their 2-hour-long showers, you sons of bitches.
And Nick, he was a Daryl Dixon kind of dirty looking dude, but not anymore. And I like how clean he's become. I like that he's combing his hair. Yeah. I also like the look of confidence that he's got on his face now. When he's sitting there at the on the couch after he got out of the porta potty. Yeah. He's sitting on the couch and has a cigarette, which I always wonder, how do they find cigarettes? They've got to be stale.
Got to roll their own.
Yeah, it wasn't a roll, but anyway.
No, it wasn't. It looked like like a Marlboro Red or something.
It was very store bought.
Yeah.
But he's talking to Alicia, and he just has this very confident, I don't know, maybe I would follow him as a leader kind of look. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean
when he's taking his props from her, and when he's basically admitting that I kind of like being the hero.
I feel like it's completely false confidence though. Like I think he's completely full of shit at this point. Yeah, like the way that he was having those hallucinations with Troy at the very beginning and trying
That's because he was sweating to death.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be hallucinating Troy if he didn't have this this guilt about what went down. And I think that's Madison's fault. Like Madison should have stepped her up, to the plate and took Jeremiah out, but she couldn't do it, and she let her son do it, and that basically, in my opinion,
I would let you do it. Well, I would let you.
But why would you let me though? If you're the hard ass character and Nick is like this emotional, right? Every 2 seconds he changes his whole outlook on life.
Wants to kill himself, and
one moment he's like one with the walkers and thinks that they're peaceful creatures, and the next moment he's at the beginning of, I think it was episode 9, he's just like brutally just smashing the crap out of that walker's face like a million times. So he's a fragile dude. So killing Jeremiah was gonna break him. Like Jeremiah, whatever you may think of him, racist shitheel, whatever, he was at least very open with Nick, and
he was a somewhat of a father figure for him.
Exactly.
More than Travis ever was.
For sure. Yeah. I think Travis was a good dude. But he had a shithill of a son that he had to deal with all the time too, and Chris. So I don't blame him at all. It's like you can only have so many. And if you got more than one, you're just like, well, crap. You know, Nick, you're on your own. You got your mom. Hopefully she can rein your ass in.
Yeah.
But she couldn't rein his ass in either. So, but yeah, for me, it's this ultimate false confidence. Like, I think he's just a complete bullshitter at this point. I don't really know what they're going to do with his character, though, either. I don't know.
And I don't know that they know either. No. Obviously. From I got whiplash.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
From his story, you know, it's like, is he not, you know, what's going on? Alicia, she pretty much stayed the same throughout. You know, she's pissed at her mom.
Yep.
She's starting to see that her mom is broken.
Yeah.
She's, you know, all about Jake.
She's all about rational leadership, I think, and not like backstabbing, lying, that kind of stuff. Like, for sure, and that's all she sees out of Madison is just the lies, the lies, the lies, and not including her. Like, if I was Alicia, I'd be like, "You suck, Mom. Like, you know, I'm your kid too. You treat Troy better than you treat me."
Oh God, yeah. Okay, so I had a question for you, and I'm gonna have to find the question. When Alicia's talking to Nick and she says something about being the favorite child.
Oh yeah. She said, "I the burden of being the favorite is too great."
Who is she referring to? Because
Nick.
Okay, because
Nick's
I was going to say, yes, Nick is the favorite.
Yeah.
But the way Alicia said it, to me, it sounded like she was saying that the burden had been on her, or that she was the favorite child. I don't know. I was very curious about that. So
yeah, I think it was just the fact that, you know, she was more or less telling Nick that she was glad that she didn't know, and that the fact that Nick was the one that pulled the trigger because he is the favorite the favorite kid, and she's like, I'm glad that I don't have to deal with that burden like you do, or it must be such a burden to be the favorite son of Madison or whatever. But I think she was more or less throwing it in his face, like, you know, you're the favorite, but you're more or less acting like a POS right now, and not a point of sale material, in case you're doing some marketing.
I pretty much figured out what
you got what I was putting down.
I got it.
There you go.
When her mom hugs her and, you know, tells her, you know, you've always been the strong one, I thought, oh my God, I would have to go bathe.
Yeah. Afterwards.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see the face that she gave her afterwards? It was cut a bitch face. It was it was extreme. Like, you
not
get your grimy
shit.
hands off me, Mom. I thought that was the same face that she gave as well. I got to talk about the badass moment with Troy, like freaking stabbing his own hand on Claw's knife.
Oh my God.
That was hella intense. But I don't know if you noticed it, and I noticed it on my second viewing. As he goes down to stab his left hand on the knife, Claw, the guy that plays Claw, was like, "Ah!" Like, he screamed like he got freaking stabbed with the knife. But it was before he actually got stabbed. It was like Troy puts his hand down on the knife, and, you know, obviously Troy's like, "Oh shit, that hurts." But the Claw guys, go back and watch it. It's just it's a really weird moment, and like, I totally understand it. If I was that actor in that situation, it's, you know, I'd be like, oh, that has to hurt.
It was just gross. Yeah. It was, you know, I mean, it was a cringy.
Yeah, it was a badass move by Troy. I was just like, dang, this dude is legit in what he will go to get free of this moment. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I even said this in my review. I don't really ultimately know what he wants. I think he just more or less wanted to confront Madison. He didn't want to kill her.
Right, obviously.
No, but I guess he was just like wanting to find out, do you still love me?
Yeah, I know.
I'm still in the good graces, aren't I?
Yeah, you said you wanted me with you.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, do you not want that anymore? Let's walk off into the sunset together.
Yeah. Maybe that's exactly what he was wanting, was just like, you know, we're finally free of your burden kids.
Yeah, those
Like,
stupid kids.
yeah, though if it wasn't for
All
those
the
damn kids.
all the focus could be on me. We could share this one bullet if we need to.
Yeah, that was really weird. I definitely think Walker and Madison definitely screwed the pooch on that one. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Oh,
like
don't let him leave.
no. I do think that he's gonna come back and
Hmm.
uh, I don't know
She
leak it
didn't.
out that Nick killed
She.
Jeremiah. Do you think, or what were you gonna say?
I don't. Well, she didn't take him very far.
No.
And the bag over his head cracked me up because I mean the dude grew up here. Uh, he knows the area.
Yeah.
He goes out on the little four-wheeler things and all that all the time. I mean that was just crazy to put a bag over his head
Yeah.
and take him away and then I mean at least show us night and day and night and day and night and day and let Madison get dirty or something. But no, it looked like she took him like a couple hours out.
That's very true.
So,
Yeah. No, that doesn't make much sense. He'll definitely be back. But
yeah.
I was glad to see him in the form of hallucinations, and I'll be glad
Oh
to
my
see him
God.
when he comes back. So
It was great in the hallucination. So
yeah,
I'll be glad. I hope he's not gone very long.
I hope he doesn't die. Which is, I know some people that watch the show may be like, why would you not want Troy to die? Like he's the
I'd
bad
rather
guy.
I'd rather Jake die. Jake is boring.
Jake is like super boring.
Mhm.
I hate saying that, but
I know
yeah.
it's not his fault.
No,
but
it's
he's
just the
he's
character that
boring.
they've made. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm like. Okay, is he just gonna die from the food that Ophelia gave him? Because he's sick throughout both of these episodes and everything, and
Well, that was from the anthrax
yeah,
poisoning.
well that's what she put in the
Yeah.
food and everything. The soup,
Yeah.
right, or was it
Yeah.
the coffee? I can't remember what it
God, I
was
don't
when she
remember.
poisoned him
I don't remember.
with. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, at some point, it's going to implode at Broke Jar Ranch. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
who's going to be the one to light that match.
Madison. I'm sure.
It could potentially be Madison. I mean, Strand's going to be coming back into the fold
Mhm.
now, and then of
I
course
know.
Daniel's going to be coming back into the fold with Ophelia. I wonder. So, do you ultimately think like, okay, once Daniel finds Ophelia, she's still alive and everything, and they come together, is it going to turn into like a Walker's people with Ophelia with Daniel versus Madison and the Broke Jar Ranch people with Strand there on their team as well? Because I mean Daniel and Strand definitely don't get along. Or is it going to be like they
Right.
joined forces to fight this Proctor John guy in the back half of season 3? What do you think is more likely to happen?
I think it's more likely that they'll join forces
Yeah.
to fight him. It seems really weird to me the way Alicia and Ophelia get along, uh, or don't get along. That seems really odd.
Yeah.
I mean, we were sort of friends.
Yeah. Until you poisoned
so-
my brother, and you
Okay,
killed all
well,
these people, and
okay,
I
so-
love the I laughed so hard when that little young girl slapped the crap out of Ophelia's water that she was trying to give her. I was like, yes. That little girl reminded me of our badass chick in Game of Thrones.
Mormont.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, Lady Mormont.
Mhm.
Yeah, she is a hardcore gangster. Lady Mormont is. On
Okay,
Game of
so
Thrones.
I went to IMDb because some of the new characters I can't. Besides that, I get Jake and Troy constantly
I do too. Yeah.
confused, back and forth. What's Nick's old girlfriend, Luciana?
Oh yeah, Luciana. Yeah. She's
She
just gone.
I know she's gone, but
Yeah.
she was credited in both episodes.
In episode 9 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yes, which makes me think that maybe she's going to show back up.
They must pay absolute poop on this show. I think maybe Alicia and maybe Madison, possibly Nick, Nick. I doubt it, but I think Alicia and Madison, like those people in real life, must get paid decently.
Yeah.
Because Alicia left the 100 for this show.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the hell, Alicia? Because the
Well, of
100
course
is
you
the
would.
shit.
I know, but you get into the Walking Dead universe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she thought the show was just going to be a massive, massive
Right.
hit, and unfortunately, it just hasn't been a massive hit. And even, even with season 3 being better than
Hmm.
the horribleness of season 1 and 2, like, and I say of season 2, like the first half of season 2 was straight hot garbage. When they came back from the hiatus and like actually had told the story, because
Yes.
that was when it like came down to like this whole Chris and what's our boy's name? Travis. Yeah, Chris
Hmm.
and Travis's drama. That's when the show got much better, and then season 3 came, and it's been a
Yeah. It's been
decent show.
solid.
Like, yes,
Right.
decent to solid show. Like there hasn't been a whole lot of just like terribleness like there was in season 1 and the first part of season 2, but I think people are they just hadn't came back. Like
Oh no. Yeah.
in my YouTube review, like some guy, because I had the title of does Fear the Walking Dead suck,
Right.
in the title, and I did.
Clickbait.
Yeah. Oh, please. I was hoping, I was hoping for millions of views. Maybe if I did does The Walking Dead suck, or does Game of
No,
Thrones suck?
yeah,
Then
if
it
you
would
would have
get.
said is Fear the Walking Dead the best show ever, that would have been
I
clickbait.
should have said
Hmm.
that in my. Dang it, Mom! You're so smart.
I,
Does Fear the Walking Dead suck? It was just like yes,
yeah,
yes, yes,
is that
yes.
still a question?
I was just like, can you clarify maybe a little bit why you think it sucks? But yeah, this one person was just like, I mean, he wrote like a freaking diatribe of information. It was
Mm.
insane. But that individual more or less stopped with season 1. And
Yes.
I was just like, I totally understand it. Like, if I even wrote back to that person. I was like, we've been podcasting and reviewing the show for a long time now. We almost stopped after the end of season 1. We almost stopped at the mid part of season 2. We almost stopped at the after
You
season
almost did.
season 2. Yeah. Well, I mean, you too now. You almost stopped a few times in there as well. You were definitely the driving force behind keeping with the show and everything earlier on. That's for sure. Yeah, that is for sure.
It is a good thing that uh, it's not necessarily always at the same time that we love the show.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
so
Yeah, I
um,
think I like these episodes more than you did.
I think you
Um,
probably did.
yeah.
Like I said, after a second viewing, I liked it better. It was solid. It was interesting
Yeah.
storytelling. It again, there was some things that I'm like, okay, I don't like to be manipulated
Yeah.
with a character, and I don't like when writers do that to us.
Or just like the
So
plot stuff, right?
with the plot,
Well, yeah,
is that
the fact that there was never any water shortage mentioned, and then all of a sudden, like,
what are we gonna do? Shit, how are we gonna make
oh,
this second half interesting? Water.
yeah,
That's gonna be the deal.
yeah,
Water. Yeah.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm completely with you. There was, I really liked it. I honestly do wish that they would have kind of like edited this stuff a little bit differently. Even in episode 9, like, I don't give I don't give two craps about Lola and Daniel's story. Like,
Oh my God.
it's
I
so
I
boring.
was so interested. There was a part that was super intense. Oh, you've got this big gun battle that's about to happen
Yeah,
with Troy and Nick, and shit's gonna go down. And you cut away to Daniel and Lola. I wanted to pull my hair out.
I'm right there with you. I wanted to scream at the television and be like, "What the fuck are you guys
Hmm.
doing? Like, come on! Like, you got this super interesting stuff. Nobody gives a
Yeah.
crap if Daniel's
Yeah.
seeing visions again.
Yeah.
Like, don't give us the Daniel vision shit
Okay. Did he have
again."
visions?
Yeah, yeah, he had freaking visions again. He's like seeing freaking Ophelia out there in the crowd, like getting water and stuff. I'm just like, I'm over this. Don't do that anymore. Dave Erickson, I know you're done with Fear the Walking Dead, so you don't care anymore. You got them cash money paychecks and you're outie. But could you pass that memo along that we're done with these Daniel visions? Like, we don't
Done
need to see
with
that.
the visions. Yeah.
Done with that. Okay, so my last question to you, and we'll end with this and then give our scores. So with that individual that said that, he said this show sucked basically. The characters suck. If they he more or less agreed with you in the sense that if you shouldn't be changing your basically your character attributes on a whim. How you act and behave and everything, like which I mean is kind of weird to say when you think about it in real life, because we all adapt to certain situations. We have one person in the office that we talk to a certain way, then we have another person in the office that we talk to a different way, so on and so forth. And like, when the boss is away, how you act when the boss is away, how you act when the boss is in the office. Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I act the exact same way every time in the boss's office. I never take a 3-hour lunch break when the boss is not in the office.
I give 60 hours a week for 40-hour pay every week.
Yeah, exactly. Like clockwork.
Exactly.
So it's weird to say, like, why can our characters on a TV show do the same? But we do. We all feel that way. We're like, no, Daryl Dixon acts this way.
Right.
And why the hell is Daryl doing this now?
I think it's because it is, with it being a TV show, because you can so easily feel like you're being manipulated by the writing. And so you count on them to be
100% straightforward and honest with us.
Yes.
You want them to be transparent with us, huh?
Yes. Isn't that what good storytelling is all about? I'm kidding.
Yes and no.
It's not. I mean, obviously, I want there to be surprises. I don't need to know exactly, well, this is what this character does, and that's how she's going to react. I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
I just need to know is Nick a pacifist, or does he, want to kill all the people?
Yeah.
Or does he think that the walkers are just, humans in a little bit different form? I mean, it's just that's what bothers me.
Yeah. No, I don't think either person on either side of the fence is wrong. Like, it's just gonna come down to how you feel. Like,
what an ass kissy kind of answer.
I mean, I personally, I don't know what I like when I like really get down to it, because I loved this season of Game of Thrones, but it was very predictable. I loved Game of Thrones when it was completely unpredictable, and I'm like, holy shit, that character just got killed, and I thought that was like, the main character. Everybody goes back to that, the Ned Stark death, the fact that how could you kill a main character like that? And it's the same thing with Ozark. I love the unpredictability, I can't even speak, unpredictability. Yeah, of Ozark, because I honestly, there was so many moments that I'm like, holy shit, she's gonna die. Holy shit, he's gonna die. Like, and that was what was so great about it. And that's really what I like about Fear the Walking Dead too, is that spontaneity that we don't know what's gonna go down on the show, and I think that's what's happened to The Walking Dead, where it's gotten kind of dry, has been that it's been a little bit predictable for the last, at least season 7. So yeah,
I can see that.
But that wasn't even my question. Sorry, I got sidetracked on my question. The main thing that a lot of people are pissed about is that it doesn't feel like it's a zombie apocalypse show, and that the zombies are not front and center in the show. So do you feel the same way, and are you just like, ugh, where's the freaking zombies at? And like, it's a zombie apocalypse, they should be more worried about zombies.
I don't feel that way at all, because I feel like this is pretty realistic, that people are way worse than something that is dead, that is wandering the earth. They have basically one thing that they want, and that's just to eat your flesh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very predictable.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me that we're more afraid of other people and how we're going to take our next drink of water. So that doesn't bother me at all. What about you?
No, it doesn't bother me. A part of me wonders why they went this way, because we kind of already had that on The Walking Dead. And it's weird to think that, you know, yes, they're in two different, you know, time periods, obviously.
Yeah.
Like Fear was supposed to be the onset, and The Walking Dead is kind of like the shit's already hit the fan, and the world is come to an end as we you know previously knew it. But even then, on The Walking Dead, the walkers were the main threat for quite some time. You know, all of season 1, and then the majority of season 2 until the governor came into play. It, you know, it was the walkers were what was out to get you. But with Fear the Walking Dead, it's really never been about the walkers. Like, they've more or less like made it where resources are more scarce, and then but that's just driven like this human v human drama that we've got. It doesn't bother me because that's what I think that's what they do best on Fear at this point. Like, I don't think that they're like 28 Days Later to me is like one of the best zombie movies, films, TV shows, whatever, like best examples of like, you know, a badass zombie flick. But even then, it turned out like the biggest drama was like, you know, the people like being shithills. So it's always like it's always kind of like a backdrop to like how humans are going to react and behave in you know, a stressful situation like this. So it doesn't bother me. I get it though. I guess if people are pissed off that there's not enough zombies and stuff like that, and
we don't get a lot, that's for sure.
No.
And it was odd when we did finally see them in this episode. You know, they seemed very. I thought they were kind of crude, just kind of. Oh, is that those are walkers? That's not scary. But again, they had the appearance of early on after the outbreak, because you know the chick still kind of looked like a chick. Her sweater was still clean.
Yeah, exactly. She just went to the dry cleaners yesterday. I look at this zombie apocalypse. I feel like it compares more to like Resident Evil movies that we've seen where they're out in the desert. And even like, yes, there's moments where there's lots of them in like concentrated areas, but a lot of the times it's just like walking and they run into one or something like that. So it's a little weird.
Part of the issue with the two different settings, you know, when you've got Georgia and you're really you've got all these trees in this very enclosed forested area, which there's more hiding spots. So I could see that there's more of a threat. But when you're out in the middle of the desert, holy crap, they have a long way to go.
Exactly. And then when they go to the Northeast, you know, in The Walking Dead, highly concentrated areas. Like, I mean, like the population areas in the Northeast and the Southeast, like for the most part, you know, highly populated areas. So no, I totally understand it. It doesn't.
There won't be any left though, up for the Walking Dead, because the hurricane came through and
wiped all of them out. That is for sure.
I mean, they actually had to shut down production for.
Oh, they did for The Walking Dead. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Hopefully, speaking of the hurricanes, if you're listening to this and you're affected by the hurricanes, we hope that you're doing okay. And that you have power and water and all those good things that are very scarce in the zombie apocalypse. You guys are going to be the true MVPs that when the zombie apocalypse comes, because you've already like lived it and prepared for it. So all right. Well, I don't really have anything else to say about these two episodes. I mean, I'm glad that Strand's back. I was excited to see him back with Madison. Like, they work the best together, and I'm ready to see what transpires between Daniel whenever he meets back up with them, and obviously like what comes with Troy. If he
I just want Troy back. I just want him back. That's all.
Yeah, that's why episode 10 was a little bit less of a good episode in my opinion. Like,
it's like, where's Troy? I kept fast forwarding through everything.
Yeah, he's the most interesting element of the show at this point right now to me. You know, he's interesting with Madison, he's interesting with Nick, and he's just like a powder keg that's interesting with all of everybody's stories. So,
and when Alicia sleeps with him behind Jake's back, then that's going to be really interesting.
Oh man, poor Jake. Poor
And
Jake, just like a complete cuck. So,
yeah.
all right. So, what do you give the mid-season premiere? We rate things out of bacons here on the Rantpocalypse channel. So, what do you give Fear the Walking Dead's double-sized mid-season premiere?
I'm gonna give it 3.5 bacons.
3.5. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad
Yeah.
score. I'm gonna give in my review I did a 4 for episode 9 and a 3.75 for episode 10. I think I'm gonna go with a 4 overall because there was a lot of things that I really liked and just there was some minor things where I'm just like head slaps. So
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was a solid return for Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where they go with the story from here. And yeah, we would love to hear you guys' thoughts on the episode. You can email us. It's rantpocalypse@gmail.com. Also, if you would like to support us, you can go to patreon.com/rantpocalypse and pledge your support and say that you love these two rambling podcast mom and son bastards. So
Exactly.
yeah, and,
we would greatly appreciate it, though.
we would greatly appreciate it, and we really appreciate the people that have already pledged their support for us on Patreon. That's really awesome. It's a great way to support content creators, us, other content creators. It's hard out here for content creators these days because of people going off and saying dropping the N-bombs in their streams and doing sorts of crazy
thanks
stuff.
PewDiePie for ruining it for everybody else.
Thanks to my mom's boyfriend PewDiePie, just killing it with the ads on YouTube and everything. So you can make about 2 cents. That's what you can make on YouTube these days. So yeah, patreon.com/rantpocalypse. And if you're listening on iTunes or podcast services, we would love for you to rate and review our podcast. And that's it. That's all we got for Fear the Walking Dead. We'll be back to our normal schedule next week where we talk about the show on Monday nights. And it'll be right here doing it a live stream on YouTube, or you can catch it on VOD on YouTube or podcast services.
Yay. That's it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.